Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is the Dinky Vintage Workshop, and today we're going to be working on the MG RV8. I've got it jacked up here, so it's up on stands, and what I need to look at first is the brakes. So we're going to be taking the wheels off and basically see what the brakes condition's like. They're okay when you're driving, there's no issues with them, but I just want to give this car a thorough going through because I've only just got it, and I'm going to start with the brakes. I've had a look underneath. Underneath seems fine. A couple of oil leaks here and there, but it wouldn't be an MG if it didn't leak. So we're going to take the wheels off and have a look at the brakes, see what sort of condition they're in. So the little cap's just held on with the Allen key, 6mm Allen key. That comes off alright. Okay, so I've got the wheel off. Vented discs in front of the MG RV8. Looks like 4-piston caliper. They look familiar, definitely out of the Rover parts bin, a little bit on some other car, and just used on this. Quite rusty, look a little bit seized up. It's probably been a long time since somebody's done these brakes. So we'll get them stripped out, give them a good clean up, see how much is left on the pads. Pretty straightforward to do. There's some pins just here, so you bend that pin so it's straight, knock it out this way, and same with that one. Take off the two little clips and your pads should come out, so we'll give that a go right now. So the pins just pull out like that once you've straightened the edge, the end. Same again on the bottom, pull the pin out, keep hold of the clip, and then you've got access to your pads. Back one's maybe a little bit seized. That one's loosened up. And that's the brake pad. There's quite a bit of wear on there. I wouldn't say they're possibly ready for changing. There's still a bit on, and considering this car will do a few hundred miles in a year, I'll just keep an eye on them. As long as the other side isn't worn anymore, then they'll be cleaned up and probably just go back in again. If the brake fluid reservoir is quite full, you'll push the fluid back up and it might squirt out and end up over the paint. So that's something to be aware of. In this case, I'm not pushing the pistons right back because the pads are going to go back in. If it was new pads, then certainly you'd be pushing them back quite far. Either way, I just put a cloth over the top, and then if there's any fluid does spray out, it'll go in the cloth and not all over the paint, with a bit of luck. So this back one's a little bit seized. I might have to work that back and forward. We'll see how that goes. I'll just get the grips on it, see if I can get the back pad out. Yeah, that's very seized. That doesn't want to come out. It's the trouble with not using the car a lot. You end up with seized up brakes. Okay, that pad's much the same. Still, there's plenty of wear on them, but there's a bit of life left in them. It's not loads, you know. It's probably, if that was a car that was getting used every day, maybe 5,000 miles, something like that, if that. Given that this car is going to do very little miles, I'll clean them up and put them back in. But we do need to make sure whatever one of these pistons is seized, we can free it off. It's basically, there's a piston on the top there, and one on the bottom, one there and one there. And the front ones went back fine. They were a bit sticky, so you can either put the pad back in this side and press the pedal steady and they'll come out, but not too far, don't let them jump right out, and then walk them back in again. That should do the trick, usually does. We'll give that a try and see what happens. Okay, what I've done there is I pushed the piston back a little bit, put the pads in, and then pumped the brake pedal. It was soft to start with, then it went hard, so the piston's moving. The inside, the bottom one, the one that was a bit sticky, has actually moved out. I'm just going to repeat that process, so I'll just take the pad back out, push the pistons back in, pump the brake pedal, let them come back out onto the brake pad. You've got to make sure you've got something in there, otherwise sometimes they pop out. I don't know that they would on here, but it's just good practice to not let them come out too far. So I'll just walk that back and forward a few times, and hopefully that'll be enough to free it off. Yeah, it's moving quite easily now. It was just that bottom one was a bit, yeah, pushing back nice and easy now, so no problems there. I'll just pump it back out once again, just to make sure it's okay. Yep, that's all good now. So I'll clean the pads up, I'll scruff the disc up, give it a wire brush round, make sure it's nice and clean, and I'll reassemble it, put some copper slip on the pads. You can sort of see where the rust is where they sit. You can seize up there as well, so we'll do that. Get the side back together and have a look at the other side. Well, actually, I'll take the other side apart before I put the side back together, just in case the pads on the other side are worn further. Okay, we'll just repeat the process on the passenger side. Cap off, start with. Okay, same process. Well clean. Pull those pins out. And we'll get the pads out. Slide that pin back in again. Bend over one of the legs. Keeps it located. That's pretty much it. Obviously, if you were putting new brake pads in, you would just do the same process and pop the new ones in, or put the old ones back in again. And discs are okay on this. Give them a light scuff up, but not bad. There's plenty of life left in them. So I'll just assemble the other side, get the wheels back on, give the brakes a pump. So I've got the drum off. So they're a bit different to normal MGB brakes, which doesn't surprise me. Instead of having the adjuster, my manual adjuster, it looks like it's got some sort of automatic setup. Can't quite see. But certainly there's no manual adjustment on them now. The handbrake's a more sensible arrangement from the standard MGB. Bigger wheel cylinder as well by the looks of it. Now these brake shoes are not terrible. There's a bit left on there. Again, because I'm only going to be doing very few miles in this car, I don't need to worry too much about replacing these, because I might only do 1,000 miles in a year, and certainly I can check them at any point regularly, so there's no point just sitting a new set on when there's still quite a bit left on there. So I'll clean them up and reassemble. I think I'm going to pull the other wheel off the other side, and we'll have a look in there just to make sure that there's no more wear on that side. Okay, let's take a look at this side. There's no obviously leaks from the cylinder. That looks dry enough. They're ready for a good clean. Again, there's not loads on the shoes, but enough for now. So now we know both sides are okay. I just need to give them a good clean out, spray them some brake cleaner and reassemble. That's just a spray with some brake cleaner, just to remove all the dust. Okay, so everything's in order in there, no issues. The brakes were fine anyway, they felt fine when I'm driving it. And the handbrake is fine. The drums were a little tight to come off, so they're obviously adjusted well. So I'm going to clean inside the drum up. It's actually pretty good, there's not much wrong with it. But I'll take this lip off, just so it slides back on easy enough, and just rough up the surface slightly, and then they can get reassembled. Okay, that's got it back together again. I'll give it a road test once we get it down from being jacked up. I've still got some little jobs I want to do while it's up in the air. Didn't find anything serious with the brakes. One little sticky piston which was just freed off really easily. No problems apart from that, just a clean up, reassemble, and everything's good. So thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a like for the video as well, and I'll see you on the next one.